time we'll take attendance.
Do a roll call. Leslie England Dorlins, absent. Ashley Toussaint,
Present.
Alyssa Zapata,
Present.
Robert Holland, absent. Rudy Mimi.
Present.
We have quorum to proceed.
Okay. Any person who acts as a lobbyist pursuant to City of Miami Ordinance Number 11469, codified in Chapter 2, Article 6 of the City Code, must register with the city clerk prior to engaging in lobbying activities before city staff, boards, committees, and the city commission. A copy of said ordinance is available in the office of the city clerk, City Hall. The material for each item on the agenda is available online on the city's website. Any person may be heard by the board through the chair for not more than 2 minutes on any proposition before the board, unless modified by the chair. If the proposition is being continued or rescheduled, the opportunity to be heard may be at such later date before the board takes action on such proposition. The chair will advise the public when the public may have an opportunity to address the board during the public comment period or at any other designated time.
All right, thank you. At this time, we will open up for public comment. We ask that you keep your comments at 2 minutes. Make sure when you come, you sign your name, come up, state your name, address, and then you may proceed. No public comment? All right, we have a public comment, come on up, make sure you state your name. You can come to the mic. Name and address, please.
Hello everyone, my name is Jeffrey Phillip, and I am here to speak on behalf of St. Mary Cathedral School. And the address is 7485 Northwest 2nd Ave, Miami, Florida.
Yes, go ahead. Thank you.
Hello everyone, so I just wanted to take this moment and opportunity to speak with you all about the vision of St. Mary Cathedral School. This is a opportunity and I'm thankful for it, where we can share our vision and look toward the future endeavors with the Little Haiti Trust. The first thing I wanted to do was just talk about Little Haiti and what St. Mary's means to me. St. Mary's is a place where I've been. I've had the opportunity to have my sacraments there, and I've also had the opportunity to work there as the dean. So as the dean of students, I wanted to just speak about our opportunities there. We're a place where we're a beacon of hope and a harbor of light. We're in a place where Little Haiti, we have the opportunity where a lot of our community is Haitian descent. And with that, we've been able to nurture, care, and help them. But not only just the community of Little Haiti and our Haitians, but we have a diverse community as well too, filled with Hispanic people and people of American descent too as well. And it's a great opportunity for us to meld the two worlds together. So I just wanted to talk about as far as our future endeavors, the Little Haiti Trust. Some of the things that we wanted to speak about were opportunities that involve parent involvement, the opportunity for community activities at Little Haiti, and I also wanted to speak about the opportunity for us to nurture and also help our students and their parents and the community at large. Thank you very much for this opportunity. If you have any questions, please speak to me or Ms. Lacken. I have my principal here as well too. And thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you for coming. I also was confirmed and baptized, and what else did I do at St. Mary's? Confirmation. Yeah, it's been a while. I'm a St. Mary's baby. Anyone else for public comment is still open?
Hi everyone, Shayna Johnson. Curious about any updates potentially for the Little Haiti Cultural Center from the last meeting. Most importantly, the City of Parks and Rec said that they were gonna do a community meeting to answer any questions, have there been any updates on that? Thank you.
So we do, have a someone here, Richard Pope from the Office of Capital Improvements, that's gonna provide an update, at today's meeting. Parks will be here at the next board meeting, which is scheduled for September 10th. In addition, Parks has scheduled with D5 to have a community meeting in regards to the Little Haiti Cultural Center. I will get that exact date, but I know it's slated for September.
All right, thank you. If the spirit moves you, going once, going twice. All right, at this time, we're gonna go ahead and close the public comment section and move into our agenda.
Yes. If I could make two amendments to the agenda, first would be the presentation by OCI, and the second would be to the legislative items to add absence waiver.
To add, what's the addition?
Absent waiver request,
Okay, we're adding that to the agenda.
yes, as legislative item,
Anybody, do we need to move those?
yes.
All right, the first move will be the presentation
I believe you can do it in one motion.
on one motion.
I'll move with the items.
Second.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, so to move the presentation as well as the, attendance waiver,
Yes.
all right, to the agenda.
And I just wanted to go ahead and state that the community workshop that's gonna be hosted by Parks and also the City of Miami District 5 is gonna be held on Tuesday, September 17th. I'm assuming it'll be held here at the Little Haiti Cultural Center. I do not have a time, but we will, as the trust, promote that meeting as well. Mr. Pope?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name is Richard Pope. I'm a project manager with the city's Office of Capital Improvements. And with me today, I have two of my colleagues, our new Assistant Director, Mr. Juan Montoya, and Mr. Diego, who is also one of our project managers. I've got great news to share with you. We've had several good developments that have taken place and that are currently ongoing at the not only the Little Haiti Cultural Arts Center, but the Caribbean Marketplace next door. I'll start out with, I have three, actually I have four, but I'll start out with the three that I'm most familiar with. As you know, there is a flooding issue that occurs between the two buildings, and it floods out the dance studio. Two things cause that. One, an exceptionally steep roof on the building next door, and a very small gutter. And then you've got the site work that has a pitch that is incorrect. So what we've done is we hired consultants to come out and assess the situation, and they've developed plans to correct those situations. And we did it in a twofold system. So the first thing we're going to do is we're starting the site work next Monday. And at the same time, we'll be covering the steep roof portions of the Caribbean Marketplace and have that dried in so that the facility can reopen by the holiday, the 30th. That's our goal. The site work will take approximately 90 days. That should correct all of the water intrusion issues into the dance studio. At the same time, Parks is going to be clearing out the dance studio, and after we do a thorough water test to make sure that we have eliminated the problem, they'll go back in and have the dance floor restored. That work should conclude around the first of the year, the total project. The second project is the Caribbean Marketplace. That is a very involved project because, one, of its historic designation and the amount of work and kind of neglect that's gone on over the years. We had to do a structural analysis and then develop a new roofing for the project that will be in compliance with the new codes. I'm proud to say that the MC Harry is the firm that was selected. They have the appropriate historic designations as architects and engineers to develop the plans. The plans are currently in development for the last month. We've had engineering teams and architects coming out, doing surveys, testing, doing cores to make sure that we get the correct plan to go back. With that plan, it also includes all new air conditioning, so you'll eliminate that air conditioning issue at the same time. The client department, Parks and Rec, has also requested a difference in the way that the building's lighting systems work. Right now, you flip on one light, everything comes on, and you don't have control of the different zones. So we're going to put in a new, much more efficient lighting system, and we're going to separate it so that it can, you can operate in 3 different zones of the facility. Those plans, contractually, the architect is supposed to have them completed by the end of April, by the end of February. That's fully permitted. Once those plans are received to us, and I've worked with them before, and they always deliver on time or ahead of time. That's why we use them as well. Then the project will go out to bid. The bid process, they opened up for all contractors to review the documents and decide on whether they want to, give us, the city, an offer to build. After we check out all of their credentials, make sure they've got enough experience to do this type of work, then the contract will be awarded. I can't tell you exactly how long the process will take to build it until I get the final plans, because there are some areas that are still being put together now. I've only seen probably the first 20% of the documents that are going to be presented in that construction document. The last thing that we've got is people are very concerned about the air conditioning unit here at the Little Haiti Cultural Arts Center. Rest assured, the air conditioning units have been ordered. I don't know whether anybody's ever had the opportunity to see how big they are, but if you go up these stairs, look out that door to the right, you will see they are massive, so they have to be built individually. How did we go about that? Well, we've got our internal department that's over off of 20th Street, GSA, and they have, engineers and stuff that work for them, and they've already ordered the higher, better efficiency air conditioning units. The update today was that they were due the end of September. It'll probably take a month to install. They have to set up a crane, offload, take off the old ones, put on the new ones, and there's a cage that they put around them to keep them secure. So you should have, this air conditioning issue should be solved by the end of October. It just takes a long time to manufacture the stuff. It's all coming out of Texas and Mexico, and that's just how long it takes. So I believe that's your update here on what we're doing. It has been a long time. It isn't something that just happens quickly, because you have to make sure that you have the right people to do the design for you. And that's where we're at. Questions, anybody? Yes, sir. The ones that are out there now, I think, are 14s and will go in with no less than 17. sir. Yes, ma'am.
Is the AC for the other unit as well?
It's the whole building. If you guys should really go up the stairs and look out there. They are huge. They're massive. They're, let's see, from about this wall that comes down to past this stage is how big they are. They,
But I'm talking about the other building, the art gallery.
yes, ma'am, they're controlled by the same unit. It's a big chiller unit, and they pipe it. They pipe the cooling for the whole complex. Anyone else? Yes, sir.
So the projected date for the marketplace to reopen is
The 30th of August,
what
2025?
2024.
Well, we're in 24 right now.
I understand that. We will be drawing that in next week. You can reopen while they do the design. This is gonna take them until the beginning of the next year to finish the design, and it'll be all dry. And then once we get the design completed, the project has gone out to bid, the project is then awarded to a contractor, we'll have a construction schedule and it'll start then. But as far as reusing the market, our goal is to have the market open for the weekend, for the holiday weekend. Yes, ma'am.
Any more questions from the public? Okay, Chair Mayor?
Yes, yeah, you may.
Thank you. So when OCI was here and Mr. Vidia and company were here the last time, I had a couple questions and he wasn't able to answer those yet.
I might be able to help you.
I think you're right. I'm very happy with the updates that you're bringing, because that was one of the things that I wanted to understand, that, you know, it's 2 years out till the permanent, we'll call them, solutions are in place, but it seems like there's a temporary plan in place. So could you describe a little bit better what you mean when you say dried in? Like, what is the temporary fixes until the contractor gets out here, permits?
Very good question.
All of that. Are you putting larger gutters? You know, could you tell me a little bit more like about this problem with the pitch and the water collecting in between the buildings, and what exactly are you doing as stopgaps to, you know, help these two things that have basically shut down like this really important community place?
Excellent question. If you were to go out this door over here and look up, you'll see that there's a white like plastic wrap, shrink wrap, like they put on the luxury yachts. We're gonna do the same thing to the roof.
Okay.
In addition to that, if you guys look at the slope of the gutter, or the slope of the roof, you'll see that the gutter is about 4 inches. Well, it's a like 15 inches per foot slope.
So there's just like simple K gutters on there, and it needs to be like a custom
We're
box
gonna put
gutter.
the big slammy
Custom
jammy
big-
one on there.
Okay.
So that's gonna be temporary.
Double the size.
Yeah,
Double the size.
more than double the size. So what they'll do is they'll tear off the old gutter, they'll seal up the roof, then they're gonna attach a new temporary gutter. Now, one of the things that we're doing to stop the water intrusion is, instead of using like 4-inch pipe to drain the water, we're going to 12-inch. And we're putting in, fixtures that will allow it to drain, and we're getting rid of all that landscaping on the side that clogs the drains, which doesn't help the drainage. So the first thing we're gonna do is shrink wrap the outside of the building, put on a big boy gutter, and then we're gonna tear out the area in the middle and slope it so where it slopes towards the street instead of the dance studio.
Okay, that's awesome. Thank you. Because
my
we were
pleasure.
very worried that we'd be in some kind of limbo for a number of years and the marketplace would be closed for a
Well,
while.
the last time you were here, since or not you were here, but I guess it was the last time you were here, when Mr. Badia was here, that we've made some significant changes to improve our city projects. One, they hired, he was already working in our building department, Ace, and this is on Ace's hotline. So what they've done since then is they've implemented a process where whenever the city projects come to our building department, they're prioritized, and you can rest assured that this one got top billing. So we're aware that this building is down and it means a lot to us and it's important. This was my actual first project when I came to the city of Miami 15 years ago. So I'm kind of attached.
Awesome. So I have a couple more questions, if
Absolutely.
you'll allow me, please. Is there, and that's great information, that this was one of the first things that you worked on, is there original plans? Because I heard you mentioning something about them taking concrete cores. Is there no data or is there nothing left?
We
from
have the original plans.
And there's nothing?
There's original plans are in the manager's office and we refer to them all the time.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
because that's, I
thick.
mean, but that's immensely helpful when you can see what was originally done.
It is.
Yeah.
In addition to that, we have the original architect is involved.
Okay,
So
awesome.
that's why we went back to MC Harry because they are, you know, very knowledgeable on the building. It isn't the same people that did the original design. It's a younger crew now, but they have access to all the important documents.
All their notes and all their inspection stuff, so.
Yes.
And then
Plus,
last,
I've got my files, which are
that's
extensive.
amazing. That's perfect.
They are actually working on Legion Park, and they're finishing that project, which is another historic project, and they're honestly amazing. It's one of the best architects that we have in our team.
Yeah, I've had the opportunity to work with them. I know who they
Yeah, they're
they
great.
are. So yeah, they're a very good choice. I agree with you. Yes. And then lastly, the HEP staff, are they being brought in early on, or how is
What?
the HEP staff, the historic preservation staff, are they
Oh.
involved? Are they consulting? You know,
They
how are
review
they?
the plans.
Okay, it's being sent to them.
Yeah, we had to, one of the reasons it took a little while longer is because we had, so it works like this. If a architect or an engineer works for the city, they get a contract and they allow them to do a certain amount of work. So MC Harry, because they do so much good work for us, we use them a lot. As much as we can, it's usually big projects like this. So we had to go to commission to have additional money added to their contract so that they could service on this. So that took a little while because you had to, commission meetings are about 2 months out. You have to plan them for that, and then
Yeah,
they
there's
got
a lot
added.
of requirements. The state has rules. Everybody has rules
Yeah,
for
they
that.
had, they had to have the historic architect designation.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I appreciate the update.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you, guys.
I have just a couple more questions, Mr. Pope.
Yes.
One, I wanted to know, I know you gave us some updates, like landmark dates that different parts of the project is gonna happen in different phases. If we could have just a calendar of when those different things would happen.
Okay. I wrote the notice to proceed for the site work on August 15th. Between August 15th and August 26th, they are giving me the submittals of all of the materials that they're going to use so that I can review the submittals to check them against the drawings to make sure that they're in compliance. So once they've done that, which I've been receiving them, the last submittal was approved earlier today for the piping. Then we arrange for the start of construction, which is going to be next Monday. It'll take them 90 days in their contract to work it, but trust me, I was able to, through our team, select contractors that I know always overperform, so I'm anticipating before 90 days that site work will be done. In addition to that, the Parks Department isn't going to wait around for me to finish the job. What they're going to do is they're going to go ahead and prepare the dance studio. That'll be going on probably middle of August, October, as we approach the end and start our water testing. They'll get that room cleared. The flooring is already here. They already have a contract with the person to put the flooring in. They had originally contracted them for both dance studios. Then we found the water leak, so we said, nope, no sense in putting down good wood on something's going to get wet, so we held that off. That's what you'll see stockpiled in the room now. But because there was some water intrusion, we've got some remedial work that needs to be done before the floor can go back in, because you don't want to go back in on stained, the lower part of your sheet rock being stained or anything, so they have to cut that out and take care of all that and put it back in, reprime, repaint. There's a couple cabinets that they need to look at to see whether they are serviceable, whether they can be fixed, or whether they're gonna either eliminate them or replace them with something like that, and they're doing that now. Let's see.
And so when I was thinking about a calendar, like literally something that can be printed out and say, you know, this is where we're going, so we as a community can kind of follow along, because you even admitted there was neglect that happened in the past.
Maintenance.
So just to get, just for like, you know, so we can have this accountability, community accountability, and we can see the progress that's being made, and we can follow up.
I got it all right here, my
Oh,
brother.
good.
So, the notice to proceed was issued August 15th to Lee Construction. They have 90 calendar days. However, I gave them a couple of extra days to get all the submittals to me, so there will be no hesitation in when they start. They are going to start on August 26th. I have a preliminary schedule that'll have to make adjustments for those days that I gave them, but they are projecting completion of the project.
What we can do is let us fix this little adjustment and send it to you.
Yeah, you just send an email. It doesn't have to be perfect. It could just be,
By November, I'll have it done.
all right.
The site work. That's the site work. The next thing, the design on the little Haiti Cultural Arts Center, I'm sorry, on the Caribbean Marketplace, the notice to proceed, here we go, was given to MC Harry on July 8th. Task 1 is site verification. They had 42 days to do that. That's the process that we're concluding now. They had 42 days to investigate, plus then give me reports that were due today, and they did arrive. So they got 28 days for schematic design. They've got design development after that is 28 days, where they'll send it to me, to my boss is also an architect, and we've got a couple of engineers in-house that we will review the documents before they go to the building department. Then going to the building department, 60 days, that's a dry run. That's where every discipline in the project is reviewed: fire, plumbing, mechanical, electrical. We will have structural elements, roof plan, life safety. Floors, slab, is concrete slab, there's nothing on the floor. But we'll review all of the components that are involved in the building process, so in this repair process. And then their last task is to help us with the bidding. And all these deliverables are due by February 12th. So February 13th, we can start bidding. And depending upon what they're also going to give us a cost estimate. And if that cost estimate will allow us to use one of our in-house people that are City of Miami preferred contractors, it may be awarded to them, which is a quicker turnaround time than if it goes out to bid, because then you have to, you know.
You gotta go through the bidding process.
Yeah, and that makes it a little bit longer, but these are the dates by contract. That's where we're at.
I was gonna add, my follow-up question was gonna be estimated cost.
I don't have the estimated.
It's hard to tell because obviously site plans are still being worked on and
Right,
materials and stuff.
and there were certain things that, you know, that were added by the client department that we included in the design so that we can improve the facility. So, you know, trying to maximize it.
There was a number that was informally put out there, like I think around $5 million. You thinking that, and I know no one wants to put
So,
a number out there without.
my professional
We won't
opinion,
hold you to
yeah,
it,
don't
but
hold
what
me
do
to
you
it.
think?
I think you've got about, probably about $3 million to do that roof. I was very fortunate, I found some old pictures from the 50s, and my goal is to have it look just like it. They're gonna put it back in all those little architectural details at the top, and then we have to paint it, but,
That's my concern. That's why I was asking about the historic preservation
Yeah,
department.
we're on it. And MC Harry, I don't know how much, it's interesting to see architects get excited about a project, and they are full on, so. And I am,
It's a special
and
place.
I am as well. Yeah, this means a lot.
It's a special place.
It does.
Thank you, Mr. Pope.
It's my pleasure.
Appreciate you. Most thorough presentation we've had. Yeah. Do we have any other presentations?
No other
That was it? All right, so I believe we're moving now the agenda to, we want 3A,
Yes.
approval of minutes. So go ahead and review. If anyone wants to go ahead and move a motion to approve the minutes from last meeting.
I'm okay with moving the minutes. I reviewed them and I'm okay.
So just a, motion?
I did.
Okay.
I'm okay with moving.
I second.
Any opposed? All right, so move. 3A, approval of minutes from the, July 9th has been approved. And now we're going to, 3B, resolution 2024, was the SOP amendment. Could you refresh my memory on this SOP?
I think we're gonna first read the title, right?
You gotta put it on the record.
Okay, let me read the title. A resolution of the Little Haiti Revitalization Trust with attachments amending the standard operating procedures of the trust as specified in Exhibit A, attached and incorporated, authorizing the president/CEO to take any and all actions necessary to implement the SOP, and providing for an effective date.
This item of the SOP was on the agenda for the last meeting, and all updates, have already been incorporated. There was one pending item which was in reference to the benefit of the retirement, in which is now updated in this version. And so that is redlined on the page number says 23 of the SOP. And this benefit is equivalent to what's provided at the city level. So this was the last amendment that we were waiting for in order to be able to finalize the SOP.
Anyone wants to move this resolution?
Would it be okay if I say something?
Sure.
So I have had lots of concerns and questions and lots of things to say about the SOP, and I can confidently say that they've all been addressed, and I'm comfortable with this now, and I mean, I read through it again while we were waiting to get the meeting started, and I think that this is a pretty good foundation for the trust to be working with, so I'm happy to say that I am ready to move it.
Is that a motion?
Yes.
I'll second it.
All right. Any opposed? All right, so move. Resolution 3B has been moved.
So we have one more, which was the absence waivers that we added at the beginning of the meeting. So we're requesting an absence waiver for Robert Hodlin for the previous meeting and this meeting tonight, and also for Leslie and Glad Jordan's for tonight's meeting.
I understand, and if it's okay with the chair, I would like to move the absence waivers for those two individuals.
I'll go ahead and second that as well.
All right. Any opposed? All right, so move. Absent waiver for Robert Holland and, Chair, Leslie Dorrance. All right, now we're moving on to the next item, for the fiscal year 225, the budget.
Yes, so at the last board meeting, the board did vote and adopted the fiscal year 2024-2025 budget for the trust. At the last meeting, it was requested for us to hold a budget workshop in order to discuss potentially any new initiatives that we would like to add to the budget for the 24-25 year. So I do want to talk about that in addition to our ongoing programs, the small business grant, the home rehab, and also the first-time home buyers program that we're continuously working towards establishing. We have been working, the trust has been working on establishing a few different types of programs, and we look to incorporate that within the next fiscal year. So I would say one would be community education, such as financial literacy and small business training. Also, a topic that has come before us has been in regards to the development of land to build units. There was a conversation in reference to seeking assistance either from the city or county to see whether or not we can take possession of lots. I've had multiple meetings with Indeed at Miami-Dade County, and they have provided us with an MOU, memorandum of understanding, as how the two entities could work together to try to achieve that. That MOU is currently in our legal department for review. And so that's one of the things that we've been working on towards that greater goal. We're still working to establish that first-time home buyers program by doing research of the current programs that are in existence. The city of Miami has one, and also D5 has one. So we're looking to see what overlaps or what gaps exist in order for the trust to be able to create its own programs. So that's another ongoing initiative that will be worked on during the future, this upcoming fiscal year. One of the additional documents that you received today was from the, I believe it was the last meeting or 2 meetings ago, when Magic City presented it, and there was a discussion in regards to the upcoming jobs that would be required and what trainings would be needed. The document is printed fairly small, but I can share that document with you electronically as well. So we will be going back to look to see how we can potentially facilitate the directives that are already outlined in the SAP, because this item, as far as the job placement, was a discussion and addressed in the original SAP agreement. But there may be a role for the trust as we sort of navigate and be that connector between possibly residents that are interested in that job and then being able to get to the training. So that's another objective that we have within the next few months. And then the last item I would just like to state is that from this discussion, we should also keep in mind in reference to that we are currently working with FIU to establish a strategic plan that kind of will outline, our initiatives moving forward. So I think that, as an organization, we could revisit our budget when we complete that strategic plan so that our budget then aligns, with that strategic plan. And I'm hoping that we should have the strategic plan completed probably within the next 90 days at latest. I'm not sure if the board has any questions for me.
Yeah, I did. I have a question.
About I'm looking at the future construction job list. Is that date the year? Is that the month and the year?
March 2025.
March 2025, okay.
It's kind of the start date that we have for everything. And then, it's kind of the anticipated
All right.
start date of construction for the 11th house.
So, okay, so we got a little bit of time for some of these. Because some of these things are gonna require OSHA training. But that's the minimum, so I think we can create some type of, marketing and promotion, so we can have folks at least meet the minimum requirement for a lot of these, jobs that are coming up. I see there's quite a few coming up in the next 8 months or so. March is right around the corner. And I guess that'll be part of our strategic plan to try to match up the training with the jobs that are being offered with Magic City. If there's a way that we can help promote that or work collectively with Magic City to make sure that, one, people are aware of the jobs, and then that they know where to get the training and how to get the training for those jobs.
So I think definitely promotion of the upcoming jobs we can work with, as the trust is concerned. I think, between us and Magic City, we can do research as far as where are the appropriate places for individuals to receive this training. In addition to that, as I mentioned in the SAP, there are already some organizations that are listed. So I think that would be our first step in trying to figure out where are the best places for individuals to get this training. But some of these positions also require, in addition to the training, they also require a certain amount of experience. So that's where I think it's important that we go to the experts, right? The people who are already providing this training and may have that route for individuals to also, in addition to the training, to the certification, right? Also get that training that would be required so that they have the minimum level of expertise in order to be able to qualify for that job.
Yeah.
So we do have a little bit of footwork and research to do before we would be able to accommodate any residents who would be interested in qualifying for any of these jobs. So that's why I listed it as an initiative. I did meet with Sean of Magic City. He did provide us with this list. So this has been a work in progress, and we're gonna continue to work towards that goal.
Thank you. I don't think I have any other questions at this time. Anyone else have any questions or concerns about this item?
Yeah, I have a question about, so when it comes to the businesses, we only have 2 businesses awarded?
So, yes, we've given out 2.
Sorry, thank you. Ashley Francois, Special Projects Coordinator. So we did award 2 at our July meeting, and we anticipate awarding at least 2 more at our upcoming September meeting. We're finalizing getting them through that insurance and city signature process, so there will be additional awards coming. In addition, well, I just want to take the opportunity, at our last meeting as well, we talked about the canvassing and reaching out to those specific businesses who met the requirements, and we did reach out to them. We've actually talked to a few and are walking through the process, giving them the application, so it's up to them to return that back. And in addition, we've also been working with some of these businesses that are on the list who may have been in the status of conditionally approved or maybe previously denied, to see how we could get them back, since time has passed, how we could get them back. Specifically, one of the businesses was having issues with their CU and their BTR, and we've been diligently working with these businesses to try to get them through the process so that we can award them these small business grants.
Okay. Thank you.
Just to kind of elaborate on what she said, we're encountering businesses that are unable sometimes to navigate between county and the city and the processes. So, for example, this one business had to go through Durham at the county, then they are issued a CU, but then you have to explain to them the CU that they get from the county is not the same as the CU from the city. So now we're communicating with zoning to ask them what is it that they need in order for them to get the city CU. We got the city CU, now we have to get them the BTR. So it's a lot, it's very detailed, the type of level of hand-holding or assistance that we have to provide our businesses, because some of them are operating with the proper licensing in order to be able to qualify. And so as we encounter these problems, it is taking us longer to be able to distribute these funds.
Thank you.
All right. I had another question.
I mean, as we consider the budget, and we're talking about, opening more opportunities for training and getting our folks ready. I know, one of the things around communication has been, Creole language being more prevalent. I was wondering, not at this moment, but if we could also consider maybe having a budget for an interpreter or someone that can, be here to translate, at our meetings, whether it be independent contractor or someone that's, part-time staff. Because I know that is something that continues to come up, at the meetings. There's a segment of the population that may not feel comfortable coming to the meetings because they might not hear enough Creole at the meetings, or they may not, it might be written, but they might not be fluent in as a Creole reader. So if there's something we can also do, with our budget to make sure that we can accommodate someone with the skill set to be able to fluently move between Haitian Creole and English orally.
So, we have been working and improving on providing our information in Creole as well. And during our first community workshop, we actually went through a company that was procured by the city and got
I was there.
and got an interpreter. And I was so disappointed with that experience. So yes, can revisit and look at other companies, because we have to follow the city's procurement. But also maybe think of like creative ways on how we could potentially, because it also has to do with dollar amount, see if there's another company that we would feel more comfortable in using. So we haven't returned to that, but we probably will for the next community workshop, because especially where, the engagement of the community is exactly what we're doing, we need to be able to have interpreters, on site for that meeting. So we'll revisit how we can do that for our ongoing board meetings as well.
Thank you. Do you have any more questions? Anyone else? Go ahead.
Thank you. I have three things that I wanted to touch on. Since we are putting so much on FIU, I would like them to, I guess, be a little bit more engaged. It's been a while since we've seen them. We're having this third community meeting, but there's not a lot of contact, and we're depending on them and this process that we have, contracted for to solve and to provide solutions and pass for a lot of things. So maybe if their team could come, or Mr. Reiner, or, some of the different professors that have been here before, to kind of, not let things build up so much, have things in small bites, that would be really helpful, because we come to these community meetings, and at least the last one, we're time constrained, there's a lot to cover, there's a lot of people, there's community involved, and it's kind of tough to get, a total picture, at least in my opinion. Like the last time, a lot of people, were at the tables, and we all worked together, and there was a lot going on. So it's a little bit tough in that kind of workshop scenario to, understand, where we are in the process, and when we can expect a final report, or, kind of a path forward, with marching orders from them. So, if we could, even if it's written updates, I'm fine with reading them, but if we could have a little bit more interim stuff, I think that would be great from FIU.
So I will say that I meet with FIU Purview regularly, maybe about once a week, and they have provided me with updates, both orally and written. So I can share some of those documents with the board so that you can see what they're working on. And in addition to that, it was a group of consultants, and I would kind of consider them like subject matter experts, where each of them are like broken down in teams working on different aspects. So there's a group that's working on, looking at the programming. We've been working with Kevin in reference to what new programs. He's also overseeing a lot of that website development, and then we had talked about doing stories, community stories. They're working on a 40 under 40 focus group that was part of the deliverables within the contract. So there's a bunch of moving parts with FIU, but I can share those documents with you. And then on September 5th, the way that the community meeting is going to work is that instead of having groups of these people working at tables, it's more going to be stations were around different topics that each expert or the consultant will be there to kind of deliver what is gonna be a visual of the information that was received from the previous community workshops of what people would like to see regarding those specific topics. And then people are gonna be going through those stations and be able to provide feedback based on our information. So it's gonna be more of FIU, sharing their initial findings from the research that they've been doing and in addition to the community workshops that we already had. So the format we plan on is going to be different. But after our meeting on, the community meeting on September 5th, is our board meeting on September 10th, and FIU is gonna be doing a presentation at that time. So at the next board meeting, there will be a presentation from FIU.
Okay, thank you, perfect. And then, my notes, as far as, having additional community events and holiday events and things like that, do we need to specifically state those or vote on them or outline them? Or, is just, the, other expenditures in the budget enough and we'll just, count on having them? Or how would you want to handle that? Do we, need to add something to the, I guess, plans from now until the end of the year? Or how would we, make those a reality?
So any of these initiatives can be lumped into together through that other expenditures line. As of right now, we have budgeted 102,000. It's decreased from last year because there wasn't a lot of expenses that we actually incurred. So, we decreased that number from the 202 to the 102. However, some of these initiatives that you talk about, such as beautification, community education, some of the initiatives that I spoke about as well, as far as financial literacy and things that are not listed in our budget, we could utilize that line item of $102,000 to be able to accomplish that.
So do we just, understand that these would be happening? Or do we have to have, some type of formal consensus or discussion here or a vote here tonight? For example, to have a Christmas event or to have school readiness or financial literacy or those types of things. Are we just moving forward with them? Or how are we ensuring that they happen maybe Christmas, the end of this year, obviously, and then going forward next year? How would we ensure that these initiatives get underway?
I would
It's a process question, I guess. It's not whatever we choose, it's more, how do we make sure that it's a reality is my question.
So I think there's a few different ways that you would be able to approach it. Number one, you always have the opportunity at a board meeting, right, to discuss something if it's a discussion item that you'd like to bring. Number two, we do have that formal process to bring items to the agenda where you provide it to us in advance. When you do it that way, that provides us as staff with the opportunity to get and gather any of the supporting documents that would be needed for your request. So that's the second option that you have. And then the third option is that I think administratively as staff, there's certain elements that we would be able to implement without it necessarily coming to a vote, right? So for example, we did want to do the banners. It wasn't something that was voted on by the board, but within, our capacity, we were able to ensure that the banners were up for Haitian Heritage Month.
Okay. Do we want to have any further discussion about Christmas or any of these types of initiatives that have been tossed around tonight? Or do we want to put it on the next agenda? Or how do we as a board want to proceed?
I think it's more fruitful when we give the executive team opportunity to see our ideas first and then be able to bring us something back. Cause we wouldn't be able to make a decision on anything tonight anyway. I wouldn't be in a space to do that. So at least if we can give them ideas, which I know folks have already done, and then that way they can prioritize the agenda so we can be better prepared to have a more final discussion. So I wouldn't want to use this time to just open up a ad hoc conversation about any initiatives. That's just my take. If there's according to the agenda, if there's nothing else to discuss,
have the day of service that is planned for this Saturday. We encourage people to come and help us serve. We're gonna be canvassing the Little Haiti neighborhood. So we are asking everybody to come here at the Little Haiti Cultural Center at 9. We will have the City of Miami trolleys that's going to disperse us to different locations within Little Haiti. And you will have these, excuse me, kits that we'll be delivering to the residents and just asking a few basic questions. But the point of this is that most of the residents probably don't know about the trust, what programs and services that we have. So this is kind of like a way for us to reach the residents that live here and let them know about not only our program, we'll be handing out the flyers, home rehab, small business, and also our community meeting. This is a great opportunity to invite them to come out to the community meeting as well. So if anybody's interested, please sign up for this Saturday at 9 a.m. And then the second announcement is just in regards to the community workshop that's scheduled for September 5th, which is a Thursday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And that will be facilitated by FIU, and that's our third workshop towards the strategic plan for Little Haiti. So that's my announcements.
Mr. Mayor, do you have any comments?
Fiscal budget.
We're not voting on we're gonna do a workshop first.
For the budget?
For the
No.
budget.
You voted on the budget at the last meeting. I actually did submit that to the city because the city's first budget hearing is September 7th. So, they have a date with process that we have to provide this information. So that's why the budget was already approved at the last meeting, and it's already been submitted to the city for adoption. So today, the intention was to have that workshop just in case there were any amendments that needed to be made to the budget. Then you would have to vote if you were creating a new line item that was not already on the budget. But if the vote that was taken last month still stands to approve the budget as is, there's no other action that would need to be taken.
So we solid? All right. I know you guys like to stay late. I know you like to keep us after 8. Okay. All right. Public comment is technically closed, but I'll take 2 questions. Please keep it's a question, right?
Yes.
We'll do our best to answer. We can't answer it tonight. We'll get back to you.
So
Put that out there.
we can reopen public comment. The only thing I ask is that there's a vote taken because that's the proper procedure. And then you can reopen public comment.
All right, motion to reopen public comment.
A motion.
Okay.
I'll second.
All right, so moved.
My question is, the answer is probably exists already. Is there any way for us to see the budget? So that, because sometimes when we come for public comments, if we don't have the documents, we have nothing to comment about. And so we need to, it's only during the meetings that we're like, well, I didn't see the budget, and so I didn't have the opportunity to make a comment during the comment period about what I saw, whether it's yay or nay, but if we could see a document, whether it's, when FIU is gonna come, can we see it before they make their presentation so that we can have a richer and deeper appreciation of what they're gonna say? All I'm saying is that if the public could have access to documents prior to the meeting so that, we can make, comments that will enrich the conversation and be more fruitful.
From my understanding, I think the board has done a decent job, maybe not making it as, public, but a lot of times our minutes are already on our website ahead of time. So maybe we can do a better job of letting folks know that it's there.
So, yes, we have all of our minutes, agendas, and also all of our documents online. So the full agenda package is always uploaded, and so everyone has access to that. You can scan the QR code. If you just Google Little Haiti trust, it brings you there. So we always provide that information. As long as we have presentations in advance, that's included in the agenda package. Sometimes you have people who come in, like OCI today, who just gave a verbal presentation, so we're not gonna have an actual document. And so prior to the meeting and after the meeting, there's always access to our information. I mean, we as a team uploaded to the meetings from before we got here. So we try to be as transparent as we can to make sure that people have access to all of our information. And we've updated our website to include a lot of the things. So now when you go to our website, which is still through the city's webpage, you see our small business grant, you see our home rehab, you see our funding policy, and you have access to all of the documents that are public record, which include our agenda items as well.
I can vouch for that. I think we can do, as a board member, we can do a better job of sending the public there and getting that muscle memory, but it has been there for
Can we
months.
get a link as?
Yeah,
You can scan that QR
But
code.
not everybody, with the meeting notices.
No, I
with the
understand.
meeting notices, can we get a link? Because, some
It's-
of us going to the website to look, it's really, and this is not, this is cumbersome, particularly in a community that is not on the web, right?
So you want a physical copy is what you're saying?
No, if we can get a link with the with the reminders about, we get reminders about the meetings. Can you just have?
Inside the reminder, get a link?
Inside the meeting,
Okay,
get a
that makes
link.
sense.
Because I'm not gonna get a QR code, I'm not, it's just, if you look at the reality of people who live in this neighborhood, it's high tech for a low tech community.
The link is included on the agenda. So on the first page of the agenda, there is a link. But we'll include it in our MailChimp, because that's what you're referring to. So we'll include it in the MailChimp as well. But, we've implemented text, we send MailChimp, we do social media, we do paid ads. I know, but I understand, but what I'm trying to say is that we make an effort to be able to disseminate the information as much as we can.
We wasn't always like that, because I was critical of it, but we made a great improvement, so I want to dock all that.
Absolutely.
The gentleman with the blue shirt, final question, and then we'll close out.
Yes, it was going back to the complex itself. Are there going to be steps taken for this situation not to happen again in the future?
So what we put in place when we had the initial meetings, that the city had committed to coming to us each month, giving us updates, because the big issue was neglect and lack of information. So because I think we put those steps in, it's gonna be kind of hard for those things to happen the way they did. We're talking about maybe years of neglect, but they're coming to our meetings every month, some representatives giving us updates. So if something falls in the cracks between that time, we can't really help that, but they have committed and they have actually been doing it, and I think because a lot of the community knows that has happened, they are on top of it, so we just gotta continue. If we don't see them in a month, not just the board, but the whole community gotta be like, hey, you all committed to coming to the trust every month, why were you not there last month? And that's something that we all have a responsibility to do.
So that there will be some kind of maintenance
Yes.
on a regular basis.
On a regular basis, they give us an update, it cannot be the same thing they gave us the previous month. They have to show us progress. Alright?
Thank you.
You say you put your application in?
No.
Oh, okay. Just asking. If there are no more comments, can I motion to adjourn?
You don't need a motion.
I don't need a motion to adjourn? Okay, that was just kind of the thing that we thought. Okay, meeting is adjourned. Y'all have a great rest of your Tuesday night. Thank you for coming out.
Thank you.
So no runoff.
I don't know if it'll help, but I just sent a,
You know what, we can't have a board meeting on that.
COU